The fantasy genre has been around for longer than I've been alive, and people love it and will continue loving it even after I'm dusted and sent to the Shadow Realm. Kinda grim, I know, but people love fantasy for a variety of reasons. They may love the world, they may love the monsters, the adventures they could be on, and many other aspects people enjoy about this genre. For me, it's probably the monsters and different classes you can explore with, and that is why I want to talk about Dragon's Dogma. My first real experience with Dragon's Dogma was the anime on Netflix. It was alright, about a 6.5 out of 10, but the idea of a dragon stealing your heart, forcing you to take up arms and train your skills enough to defeat it and take your heart back is pretty damn cool. If come on, it's a dragon, right? They're always naturally cool, but this dragon coming in and using its nail to poke out your heart and eating it, and you're still alive to, basically be cursed to go ahead and try to fight it. Pretty badass, right? Pretty badass. Now, I'll be honest here. Fantasy is pretty cool, but dark fantasy is honestly where it's at, guys. Like, come on. That is pretty much the world of Dragon's Dogma. It's dark fantasy, but not too dark. It's like sort of that middle where like a lot of it is implied in the game, in the world, right? But it can be pretty dark. It can be really fucked up with its stories and a lot of stuff going on. Trust me, in the game, I saw like a king or a duke or whatever choke out his queen or whatever, right? And that shit was kind of fucked up. Now, back to the anime. The anime didn't really give me what I wanted from the franchise until I watched the gameplay of Dragon's Dogma 2. And dear God, it was so damn interesting, satisfying to watch. Jesus Christ. For all you Monster Hunter fans, I implore you, try out this game. You can mount the big monsters, offer up distance-based attacks, support, or even just go full Oonga Boonga and smash a monster's skull in. Like, Jesus Christ, it's it's so good. The combat is so good. Watching the gameplay made me want to get into the series because it wasn't a turn-based game. It was a real-time attack the monster until they die by your hands and, or die trying, right, type of game. And, what's super interesting is that depending on the monster, where you attack, and what you attack it with, a variety of things may occur, which is it's pretty neat. It's pretty goddamn neat. Say you're beating the knee in of a Cyclops near an edge, right? Potentially you can make it trip and attack it, and some more things will happen. If it's by an actual ledge where it's a deep drop, they'll just fall and just die. They'll just die. They just fall down to their deaths, which is it's pretty nice, when you don't want to when you don't want to deal with a fucking Cyclops that has armor. Who the fuck? This shit still blows my mind. Who the fuck makes armor specifically for Cyclops? That shit still blows my mind. Who does this? I know the Cyclops didn't. He didn't do that shit. Even better. All right, cool. Even better suggestion, right? You could target the eye. You can, of course, climb on the Cyclops and beat its eye in, or when you smash his knee in and it falls to the ground on its knees, wailing in pain, you can beat its eye in and say fuck this Cyclops in general, right? That's what I did, because fuck them. That's why. But they're fun to fight. They're fun to fight. I'll just say that. They're fun to fight until they smack you off a ledge, right? And, you fall to your death and you panic a little bit. That shit was not fun. And the walk over there was not fun either. Fuck that. Anyways, let's get back to the game. What I really like about the game is that the monsters act like how monsters, are supposed to act, right? If they have hands, it's a high likelihood that they'll grab you, throw you, etc. The monsters who don't have the luxury of opposable thumbs, right? Like the damn hellhounds will spam their explosive fireballs because it's smart. It knows its strengths and will hit and run, spamming their strongest abilities and, say fuck you, right? And fuck them. I hate hellhounds. They'll even go ahead and knock you on the ground and grab you and drag you across the room to maul you across the room away from your party. That shit, I have never experienced that shit a day in my life. That shit blew my goddamn mind, but it made sense and it was cool to basically see. But seeing my health bar deplete like that shit was scary. That shit was scary. I'm like, they're fucking me up. Help, please. Let's get to another monster type. With some other monsters, like smaller monsters, you can actually grab them yourself, right? If they're small enough, you can grab them, or your pawns can grab them, and it can give way to an opportunity attack, which is always pretty nice, right? Now that I've mentioned pawns, let's get into them. Right? The pawns are essentially duty bound to help the Arisen, people who've had their heart stolen by a dragon. Right? Pawns will make up the majority of your party. They are apparently not human. They don't age or truly die. Cool enough where it's cool that you have your own main pawn that you can actively change the class of, teach, and change how he looks, especially in the beginning, right? And it's cool. You can have your main pawn that you can truly mold into whatever you want. And I've always I've always gone ahead and made a carbon copy of myself, like class wise, right? I gave him a lot of my hand-me-down weapons and gear, and eventually he was just essentially a few stat points behind me, but we were at the same level, so it was pretty much fine. But if I had a big ass hammer, he had a big ass hammer, and we will both go ahead and beat the shit out of everything together, and it was fucking beautiful. Okay, now let's get to the story. The big thing you need to know, story wise though, is that your job is to kill the dragon that stole your heart. That's it. That's really it. However, the game has other story elements too. In Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen, there was a storyline of a crazy old bat who deified the dragon and caused a whole lot of problems. You can follow missions that are part of a storyline with a rebellion, or missions that basically send you off to kill monsters and shit. I got turned on by the queen in one mission. This is the mission I mentioned earlier, right? Queen, Duchess, whatever, right? She was getting strangled by her husband, and I went ahead and tried to stop it, and she turned on me and said, "Oh, you're the one, you attacked me and all this other shit." And I'm just sitting here like, bro, you came on to me. You told me to come to your room, and now I try to help, and I got sent to a fucking torture chamber on some bullshit. It sucked. It sucked. Also, little thing, right? Little story thing that's kind of annoying to get. You can become God, which is wild. You can't do shit as God, right? You just walk around. Not really. Only like 3-4 spots, but you can become God. Yeah, shit's wild in this series. But no one really plays Dragon's Dogma for the story. The monster fights and everything like that is where it's at. And dear God, I was ready to fight fucking dragons. That shit is normal. But motherfucker, I wasn't prepared to fight the damn evil eye. First time I really saw it was from Goblin Slayer. You guys remember Goblin Slayer? And this bastard petrified my mage and dusted her into billions of sandy pieces during the fight. Bitch, that was my healer. I needed her. And it made the fight so much more annoying. Because, oh my God. I don't want to get into it. I do not want to get into it. But, I should have gameplay of that fight. I hope so. I pray to God I do. But I was not prepared to fight the damn evil eye. And that shit was a struggle. I'm not going to lie. Now, let's get off the fucking... the evil eye. There are other monsters, right? There's the classic chimeras. But there are the black hell chimeras. And fuck them. I hate them. They can use their tail to cast magic. And the goat can use magic, I'm pretty sure, as well, right? I mentioned like Cyclopses. Fuck them and their armor, right? But there are also these ghosts. The whites. Fuck the ghost whites. Whatever they are, right? Fuck them. They nuked my ass once. There's griffins, cockatrices, basilisks, which is, it's really fucking cool. What first time it was like a story thing. And then I was not prepared for this as well. A fucking super hydra, which I was not ready for. Because this shit took me at least 30 to 45 minutes to kill. It was fun. It was fun to cut off their heads systematically and watch them grow back up. But it got annoying. It got annoying for a certain bit. It really got annoying doing the same thing. But it was fun though. It was fun. The game has a lot of enemies, and it doesn't stop at monsters like that. There are monsters like goblins and harpies on the field that you can fight. There are even like bandits and other bastards on the fields there too that you can go ahead and murder, right? And it's a game that gives a lot of enemy variety. Even like lizard monsters too. I forgot about them. Fuck them. There's different variations of them too. But Jesus, like the game has so many enemies, and they all have, you know, their own little quirks and stuff. It's fun. It's thoroughly fun to fight them. The gameplay is just so lovely. It's great. Even in today's standards, the gameplay is way better than a lot of games today. The undead can be really annoying sometimes, but if you have a mage with holy light to bless your weapons, you should be fine. When it comes to classes, you can literally be a goblin slayer type of class if you want to. Plenty of variety in moves for each class, even classes that are a mix of different things, like the Mystic Knight and the Magic Archer. The combat is honestly the most satisfying thing about the game. The gear, the customization, everything is pretty damn tight for the most part. Only thing that pisses me off is that you have to run everywhere, and you got to set down these teleportation stones to quickly get back to where you want to go. And you know, you don't just start with like 5, 6 teleportation stones. No, as you progress through the story, and you know, through the main stories and whatever you go, you can find some. And the map isn't too big, but walking everywhere is such a drag, and it sucks. Thankfully, in the second game, there is a cart, like, you know, fast travel function, right? That, you know, can potentially, you know, get attacked, and you have to wake up and do whatever to defend the cart and, you know, fight back against bandits or creatures of the night or whatever the fuck, right? Which is nice. That's one thing I look forward to when I play Dragon's Dogma 2 in the next year or so, because yeah, I'm really looking forward to that game and all their improvements, and just see how the game goes, right? This game is amazing. I bought Dark Arisen for $30 on Xbox, so I got all the DLCs. They gave me a boost and stuff, and you know, it helped me get around faster with a certain item. The only gripe I have is probably like the running around everywhere, and you know, some of the mission designs aren't the best, but you know, they're serviceable because the game came out like what, 2012, 2013, around that, you know, time period, right? But I do appreciate in the story in the game that they sort of have a freedom of choice with some of the missions. I love how, like, you may be the Arisen, but you can still get hoed, and people will actively try to kill you. Like, they'd be like, oh, he's the Arisen. He's destined to kill a dragon. Let's go ahead and, you know, try to assassinate this guy who's buffing himself up to kill a dragon that none of us can ever fight in a billion years, right? It's kind of funny, right? But I'm gonna show up a clip. Hopefully I still have it, to where this guy was talking mad shit, and I just went ahead and obliterated his party. Fuck them. Then it's what they deserve. I truly do recommend Dragon's Dogma, specifically Dark Arisen, to make your life easier with the DLC and everything attached and stuff. If you love beating the shit out of monsters, I'm looking at you, Monster Hunter community. Please, this single player dark fantasy monster killing game is right up your alley. Seriously. Thanks for the patience, and you know, the regular videos will be coming up soon. And you know, thank everyone for giving, you know, this video a watch and everything. I appreciate it. So give this game a try. Get hyped for Dragon's Dogma 2, and see you guys next time. Stay healthy mentally, emotionally, and physically, and see you guys next time. Honestly, just play the game. It's dope. If you haven't been turned on by the gameplay above, I'm sorry, I don't know what you're into. But seriously, it's fun, it's satisfying. Play the game. Goodbye.